Hey, it's time to paint again. I'm Jed Baker and welcome to my channel. I'm new here on YouTube, so please subscribe and like the videos. Thank you for tuning in. Today I am painting, as I do every day. I'm doing one painting each day in quarantine. Today is day number 37. Today's day number 37, so let's get started. I'll show you what I'm painting today. Sometimes the paintings are happy paintings of our new life in quarantine. Sometimes they're the hard paintings of what's going on. Today is it's not the happiest painting. It's true life. This is what's happening. Can you see that? This is a funeral service, and the only people at the funeral service are a couple of folks, and then of course the camera on the tripod. This is what's happening today in our world. So I'm going to paint that. I'm going to start by doing a quick sketch with my mechanical pencil, and I have the photo right up here. So I'll get right on that. Okay. So we have our casket. This person has moved on to whatever is next. It looks like they had a good life. They have a nice casket, beautiful flowers. Let's get that shape right. What I do is in my first video of the day at 1 o'clock every day, wouldn't it be great if my ruler was right here? It would be. Still great. Okay, so we have our person. There's a little perspective here I want to get in right. This does go up a little bit. A little ASMR. Enjoying that. I like the sound of the pencil on the canvas myself. Okay, and here's our church person. It's kind of quite a ways away. So they're here. Here's their shoulders, and I do those kind of sketches with ovals and that kind of look like a drawing figure, those wooden drawing figures. That way I can get the person's body parts in the right place. I gave him a really low waist, but he's wearing that coat, so I'm not sure what that's called. It's not a gown. It has this very special word, I'm certain, and I probably knew at one time in my life what that word was. But he is presiding over this ceremony here. Okay, so he's there. There's two people in the photo. I don't even think I'm going to put those in because I'm the artist. I'm using this as my inspiration photo. It comes through the photo, into my eyes, into my brain. You can see the wheels turning, and then it goes click, click, click to my arm, to the pencil, and to the paper. So I don't do photorealistic paintings, although that is a thing that people do. I'm more of an impressionist, and I'm going to paint this whole painting in about 2.5 hours. But I do this during my quarantine to escape. I'm drawing in the camera now. The camera's on a tripod, and I'm going to put it a little more in the foreground so we can really see what's happening here. That we won't even see the person operating the camera. We're just going to see the phone on a tripod, and the phone has the scene that we're looking at. And this is how people are having to attend funerals these days in this strange time that we're in. So let me get started here. I'm going to just scrape the paint off my palette knife from yesterday. Please like and subscribe. I'm new here, and if I get to 1,000 subscribers, there's some more editing tools that I can use. I can go like, watch this video, please subscribe here. Here's a video of the first month. Here's a video of the special episode. I had a special episode just the last 2 days over the weekend. I had my friend, she's way up in the corner there, Elizabeth Hendley. That was on Saturday. She's the art therapist at Dell Children's. And she came on and talked about art therapy and how that helps the patients. And then yesterday, we had my friend Dr. Jack, who's an emergency room doctor, call in, and he talked a little bit about what's happening in Austin. It's starting to peak in Austin. So be careful and everybody stay home. I hope wherever you are, you're well and stay that way. So here's our sketch. Okay, so we have our church official presiding over the ceremony. We have our person in the casket, and then we have flowers on the casket, and then here's the video, the iPhone, yeah, that is transmitting this video to the friends and family on the internet. So, what I do is a rough palette knife painting. Every day at 1 o'clock live here on YouTube. Lots of fun. He's white, he's black, he's magenta instead of primary red. A little bit of magenta, yeah. Some magenta. Primary cyan instead of primary blue. It's a little brighter. Some brighter colors if you use magenta and primary cyan. And then primary yellow. And we're going to get all the colors we need from this. Let me move my table a little bit. This is a new setup today, by the way. We're trying out some new things. I've been painting for 37 days now. I started the live streaming, which has been fun. On Facebook, I started this right about here. So that's been 2 weeks. Now we have a new camera we're testing out, much higher resolution. I hope that you can hear me and see me better. You can see the table a little better. And I'm sitting, which is kind of cool for me. We'll see how this all works. I gotta make it work. If you can see how this is all rigged, you'd be really impressed. Okay. So I'm gonna go put in our casket first. A little magenta, a little yellow, a little blue. I'm gonna make some, it's a very pretty wood. Brown. This is a really soothing part for me. Mixing the paints, I use golden paints. They're very smooth, a heavy body paint. And to see the colors come together is really nice. So now we have a little bit of maroon color, and I'm looking for a brown. So to that, I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow and blue. This should orange it up a little bit, brown it right up actually. Just with the yellow. Okay, now we're getting a brown color that we're going to use. I'll use 2 colors. Here's our brown. And it's got a little more yellow in it, so I'm going to lighten it up just a little bit. I hope you're safe. I hope you're staying at home. I know there's a lot of pressure to go out today. I do 1 painting a day, and I'm trying to paint all aspects of what's happening during our pandemic. I decided not to paint protests this weekend. I'm going to paint this seam here instead. Okay. Corner, edge, comes up on an angle. It's a great time to do something creative. When I'm painting, I escape from everything else. Even though I'm painting about this current situation, right now I'm putting paint on the canvas, and all my focus is right here. Okay. Here we go, and then here's the top. Okay. Okay, now we'll put some definition into that. Lighten it up, some of this brown. A lighter shade of brown in there. A little yellow in that. Go. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you for watching. There is a chat feature over here in YouTube. Hey, Genjo, welcome. I just kind of popped my feature out here. I mean, I see your chat now. Okay, yeah, I'm going to paint what I want. I'm not painting anything political. This is about how it's affecting the people, how we're responding to it. Yeah, that's the part of being an artist I like, Genjo. Thank you for reminding me. I'm the artist and I can paint what I want. Putting a little definition in our casket here. Okay. Just defining the edges a little bit. And so what I do at 3 o'clock is I come back here. The paint is dried by then. I have a sandwich. I'm ready to go at 3 o'clock to put the details in. And for that, I use pasta paint markers. So it's acrylic paint markers on acrylic paint. And we have an acrylic painting. One painting each day in quarantine. I have to say that I'm getting a little better at painting after doing this for every day. I think anything you apply yourself to, you would. Here's our casket in there. So I'm going to move on. Anything you apply yourself to and you practice, you might get better. Oh, this looks great. I'm putting some ridges in. The paint, when it dries, it'll have a ridge in it. So when the light hits the painting, it'll throw a little more shadow on the painting, give a little more depth. And those shadows will actually change throughout the day when the light changes in the room. Cool. This is looking great. Can you imagine what a hard time to lose a family member? Just looking. Okay. This is kind of the focal point of our painting, so I'm giving this a little extra attention, putting some layers of depth into that casket. Okay. And then I'll define the edges with the paint pens in a little bit. So we have that all put in nicely. I'm going to clean off my palette knife with a swipe of a paper towel. One of the reasons I don't use a paintbrush. Paintbrush should be splashing water and cleaning. Now I'm ready to go again. I use these plastic palette knives, and I like this shape because I have the flat surface. I have a nice long edge here. I have a short edge here. It's my favorite. Okay, let's go into our church. Gosh, by 3 o'clock, I'm going to have the right words. It's a minister, it's a pastor, it's a priest. Those are the right words. Okay, and he is giving the service. So I'm going to start by putting in his robes. I'll go with that. Very nice white robes, of course. Okay, he's holding a book and he's reading, giving a service. The robe comes in here. I really enjoy painting. Makes me happy. Okay. Okay. We can give him a little more length, like all the way to the knee, maybe. The white part goes, and then there is a black under part that goes all the way to the ground. Cool. I just put in a really nice ridge that's going to again reflect that paint and show the definition of this guy's robe. So he has black pants, and then just black bottom part of this robe. And I'm going to put that right in. Okay. And then you can see his feet a little bit. And I'll come back and define this with the acrylic paint pens later today. Okay, he has a little black collar with a little white notch in it. I can't really see that part, but I do see a little bit of black. So I'll put that in. Here's our priest coming in, our pastor, our minister. Okay. I'm going to put his skin tone in. I'm going to take some of that color I used earlier and lighten it up. I'm going to pink it up a little bit. He's kind of pink. It looks like he's in a place where maybe it hasn't, oh yeah, they're wearing coats. So it hasn't been warm enough yet to really be outside. So this guy has his winter coloring, which is pale and a little bit pink. Not quite as pink as our spring break girl here who had a really good time at spring break. I saw a map on the news here that tracked the cell phones of where all the spring breakers went, and they went all over the place, including right here. Okay, here's our guy's skin tone. Put his head in. It's kind of pink. I'm going to brown him up a little bit. Okay. This is good. This is good color. And I've had that little bit of pink right on the front of his face where the sunlight's hitting it. So it looks like probably sunlight through clouds. Can't believe I'm on day 37 already. Gosh. I'm painting till it's over. Okay, here's our head. Nice. He has some hands that are holding a book. I'll put the hands in here. Actually, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to do that with the paint pens. Now I'm going to start working on the background. It's very, very light in the background. There's the gray cement steps, and then in the back is, I'm sure it's probably a church building, or maybe even at the cemetery. Looks like it's more of a cemetery, a huge stone kind of building. So I'm going to work on putting that in. Grabbing some colors. I'll show you my white. In my white, I have little dabs of all the different colors from reaching in there. So I'm never really just grabbing white. For this one, I grabbed some that had a little gray in it to bring the white down a little bit. I usually don't put white straight on the canvas. I do leave spots of canvas open though because I think it's cool. It gives the painting definition. I'm painting on a canvas, so let's see it. Okay, I'm going to gray this just a little bit. It's got a little bit of that brown in it, which is fine. Okay, this is good. I'm going to put this in on the building. And I didn't sketch that in, which is interesting. But I'm going to paint it in. And it's really kind of just white stone pillars. One comes down here, right to about here. Let's get that perspective. It's on the same perspective as the casket is, of course. Everything in the painting is going back towards the front. Okay. And then maybe I'll get a little more white on my knife. And the next part of the building is going to have some white. And I'll put a little texture in there so you can really see. Oh, I got a little black in there. It looks incredible. There's no mistakes in painting. The great thing about painting is it's paint. If you don't like what you painted, paint over it again and again and again. Or not. You can. It's your choice. It's as my friend Bob Ross would say, it's your world. You are the master of your world. Did I say my friend Bob Ross? I feel like he's my friend. Okay, here's a layer here. The building. Some trim. another kind of, I don't know what that means, but I do know what that means. You don't know what that means. A little bit of that. Just filling this in. How about some white? There's a whole wall that's a little whiter here now. And there's a little gray on my knife. It's all good. This will all be neatened up. Oh, that looks great. It'll all be neatened up in the second video that I do at 3 o'clock every day, where I finish it up with paint pens. Let's put this in here. We're just suggesting that there's a building back here. It's a big building. It's a big stone building. And so we're starting to get that background in. Looking good. And then when we get closer to our priest, gosh, our minister, our pastor, yeah, it's not a rabbi. Okay. There's some trim here. This looks great. It's a nice texture in the background. Leaving some white. Then right behind his head, we'll do some white. And I'm using my artistic license to change the background a little bit. It's looking really cool though. You can see that maybe there's some kind of building back here. And then we have our casket in the foreground, our priest, our minister, our pastor, and then I'll put in the cement. That's here. Just kind of defining the area, the edges of this casket a little bit. Just check in with the chat. I'm kind of missing. Oh, hi, Wendy. Cool. Yeah, it's a new setup. How does it look? In my monitor, there's some glitches going through it, but I don't think those will be in the video. I hope not. If not, we're going to change this up pretty quick. We might even change it up quick anyway. Okay. Back to my cement. I'm going to take this gray and darken it up just a little bit more. So this painting is very gray. In the center, it's going to be a brown casket and red roses and white lilies on top. And then in the foreground, there's an iPhone camera on a tripod, and we're transmitting this funeral live. Okay, and I'm going to put these lines in. The cement is on an angle. Let me just show you the photo we're doing, just to remind you. Okay, got our, so see how the cement is on those lines that give us a nice perspective. I'm going to paint the paint in that way on here. Come through with this, get a little more white on my knife. Just because there's a little variation in the cement. And I'm really just going to fill this in quickly and then come back over it and define it a little bit. I've just painted over where my camera is, but I know where it goes. Okay. It's dark around our pastor here. Okay. And now I'm going to just really smooth that out. Put in those lines of cement. Leaving a little ridge where the cracks in the cement are. So naturally. Hi. That was a robocall. Don't you love that? Thanks for calling. Okay, here's our cement. So we've got our cement in. I'm going to put some lines across it that can go the other way. Use this shorter part of my knife here. And they're staggered. And those are on the same perspective as the casket, of course. A little bit of paint on the edge of the knife, but it's cutting through the paint I just put on, so I'm getting some really nice lines here. This is fun. Have you ever tried painting with a palette knife? I like to paint with a stick. It's easier than cleaning brushes. Try it. Okay, so we have our sidewalk in there. See the, I don't know if you can see the lines so well. We're gonna highlight those with the paint pen, but they're in there. They look great. Since I have a little dark pen on here, I'm gonna paint on here. I'm gonna just define some of these columns that are back here. Some trim on this building. Okay, interesting. It's looking good. Now, there is a camera in the foreground, so I'm going to go ahead and get that camera in. It's black tripod and a black camera, so I'm going to put it in all black. And then I am going to come back and lighten up that screen with the paint pens and put in the scene. It's the scene that we're looking at, which is the funeral service. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to move the camera that's in the photo a little bit so that it really is showing what I want to show, which is a funeral being sent through an iPhone. Okay, so I'm going to put it a little bit in front of the casket. This is looking good. Oh my gosh, where's my music? You're kidding me. It's so quiet. No wonder it's so quiet. We need a little Mozart. My goodness. There we go. One moment. This is a new studio setup. I want to listen to my music. There we are. Thank you, Mozart, for your royalty-free music. Okay. That's better, isn't it? Gosh, it's awfully quiet. Okay, just putting in the shape of that cell phone. That is cell phone. Sure, that's great. Then there is the gosh, how could I miss that music for so long? It really helps me relax. Thank you, Mozart. There we go. Okay. And then there's a tripod. This piece here. There's some screws, kind of like a clamp. Clamp. The dial. And then the legs come out. Perfect. Perfect. I just want to show you that. Here's our cell phone. And the picture in the back is going to be on the cell phone being transmitted. So let me just check here. Okay, we have some flowers on top of the casket. So let's make some beautiful flowers for this person because they deserve it. Green. Some green kind of palm leaf things happening. Love it. Using that cyan, the primary cyan, you get a really nice bright green. It's a little bright though, so I'm going to tone it down. Just be a darker shade of that color for our palm leaves. Let me get the shape of that. Oh, good. You like that you can see more of the painting. Yeah, I'm closer. You can see it. I can hold it up just right here. I can hold it up right here. I'll hold it and peek over and talk about it. It's coming into shape. We're almost done with the first part here. I'm just going to put some of these flowers on the top. Oh, you are seeing a line blinking through the screen. Okay. We are going to... That can't happen. I'm sorry we're having some technical difficulties. We're going to see if we can fix that by 3 o'clock. If not, definitely by tomorrow. I happen to be in quarantine with a person who does tech. Okay. Big mound of green here. And then there are flowers on there. Clean, ready to go again. Yeah, we're gonna have to work out that line that goes through. I'm not seeing it right now, but oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it. Okay, so we have some roses. I have this magenta. See, I'm gonna put a little yellow in there. That's gonna make the prettiest red. Beautiful. Kind of orangey red. I'm gonna red it up a little bit more. I wonder why that. I did a bunch of tests today to try this new equipment, and I did not see the red line. Okay, here's our red rose color. Did a bunch of that on the very tip, point of my knife, and I'm just gonna pop those roses in. Spaced out really nicely, perfectly. And then I will put more details in with the paint pens a little bit later. This is making me a little bit sad, but I'm not painting about the Rose Parade, you know? If I was painting the Kite Festival or Circus Parade or a cakewalk, but I'm painting about what's happening in our lives during the coronavirus pandemic, one painting each day. These look beautiful. And I'm laying down little dots of red is what I'm doing here. Some of the roses are a little darker. I'm going to take this red and just darken it up. This is very dark. It's too dark. But I'm still going to use it because I'm going to put that color in here. Give it a little more depth. You still sticking with me? Okay. Okay. Add a little bit of red and try to put another rose in here. Yes. Okay. So, there are some, everything else I'm going to put in with the paint pens. So, this is the end of part 1 of day 37. And here's our scene today. This is a funeral that's being broadcast on a iPhone. We'll come back at 3 o'clock and put all the details in with the paint pens. So in the meantime, everybody, maybe I'll get this glitch out of there. How about that? But Regardless, stay happy, stay healthy, make some art, and be kind.